still a very active system, still a Category 3 right now, Joe. So still, yeah, again, very active.
Yeah, so I mean, these are two places that have seen major hurricane landfall from Melissa. Of course, as a Category 5 in Jamaica, and now Cuba as a Category 3. We are starting to see this storm weaken off, but again, even at its peak, it is one of the strongest storms to ever exist in the Atlantic, and it is the strongest storm to make landfall in the Atlantic. It does tie 1935's Labor Day hurricane. So almost thinking about how much time has been spread between those two. We haven't seen a storm this strong basically in almost a century, 90 years apart. Of course, Dorian was 2019's strong storm, and that is also one of the strongest to make landfall, again, by winds and by pressure as well. But still, we're watching this system as it continues to work northward in the next couple of days. It starts to pick up a lot of speed, but it is going to be eyeing the Bahamas and even potentially Bermuda. They are under a hurricane watch already, as this system will likely start to work into that area by the end of this week. So once we get closer to this weekend, which is still a few days away, we should not be talking about Melissa anymore. It should be working its way well up into the North Atlantic and weakening off pretty quickly at that point. We're still watching our own system here in the eastern half of the United States. Again, nothing tropical. You can see a lot of rain, a lot of stormy weather down around the western Appalachians. We're still tracking a lot of rain starting to work into the area beginning already. Most of us are still pretty dry, but Pike County, you're seeing a decent amount of rain. Some light showers already starting to work into Ross County as well. Athens County and Fayette County, you're going to be next with some of this wet weather. But most of us in the metro should stay dry as we go throughout the beginning of today. Definitely a different story a little bit later on this evening. So we're watching clouds fill in regardless whether you see the wet weather to start or not. But most of our showers are going to start to push into the metro area towards the evening commute. So just keeping that in mind as you're heading home a little bit later on. But the heavier stuff is going to push in later this evening. So still not looking at the worst of it working in just quite yet. Our steadiest chance of rain is in the overnight hours, and it still holds tight as we head into tomorrow. Even the morning commute for Thursday is not that great out there. We're still looking at some moderate rainfall, some heavier pockets out there on the just keeping that in mind for the start of tomorrow. And then as we head towards the evening hours, the actual low pressure center works through. The winds really pick up as well. Showers are trying to break up into tomorrow evening, so there is some hope for trick-or-treating. It's not the highest chance, but again, we still could see some dry weather start to work in for most of the kids heading out and about tomorrow evening if it is still scheduled for tomorrow. Temperatures later today are lifting into the mid-50s. By tonight, we're falling down into the mid-40s. The winds are going to stay strong regardless, 10 to 15 miles per hour for today, tonight, tomorrow. The gusts as high as 25 miles per hour today and tomorrow as well. The temperatures struggle warming up as we head into Thursday. Numbers only jump up a few degrees, so we're still stuck in the 40s throughout most of the day tomorrow. As far as how much rain falls throughout most of this week, again, most of it falling tonight and going into tomorrow. It's about 3/4 of an inch here in Columbus. Higher totals out to the east where we could see 2 inches in a few spots, maybe just 1/4 of an inch in a few areas out to the west. So a very large gradient here across the area. Again, starting off with some decent chances for rain for trick-or-treating tomorrow evening. That wind chill is still going to be pretty solid. It's going to be pretty breezy, but we're starting to dry out a little bit later in the evening. If you want to brave the rain and have the best chance of getting the best candy, then that's totally up to you. By Friday evening, for any plans later that night, a better forecast, at least in the way that we're not looking at rain. Temperatures are a little milder. Winds are still pretty steady out there, so keeping a light wind chill going, especially towards the later evening hours. Pollen in the next couple of days, especially with as rainy and as cool as it is, not a lot of change coming with that. We're still going to stay with some pretty low levels. Friday for Halloween, again, better towards the evening. Saturday, when Penn State's probably going to lose, temperatures are in the mid-50s. We're starting off in the 40s, so it's going to be pretty cool for those tailgates since it is a noon kickoff. Building into the upper 50s on Monday and Tuesday. Next chance for rain is a small one to start off next week.
You sound so confident, Joe.
I just need to get past Saturday.
I know. It sounds like it. Thank you very much.